Oh, shucks, I already went live.
That's fine.
I didn't mean to go live. I really didn't.
That's fine. As long as it's two, and sometimes you'll have to lean up on me. You'll have to lean.
He's without a shirt again.
Yeah. At least I ain't showing my nipples, though.
Thank you.
I'm being respectful and not showing my nipples.
Tell them why we're doing that. We were testing out a new tripod because we're usually holding the cameras and our hands are going and we get tired. And so we're testing out a new tripod. But I only bought one because I wanted to make sure it worked, did what it needed to do. We could make it higher in different angles and different things like that. So that's cool. But this is like feeding into the laziness because he's like, I just got to lay here.
Yeah.
But he's holding my phone today.
So. Yeah, but I gotta watch while I lay because sometimes I'll be wanting to do this without you and these women's and stuff.
Question me about my so it's just your face.
Yeah.
We don't. We can bring it a little closer so it's, but don't move it right now. Don't move it right now. Anyway, is your arm comfortable?
I'm okay for right now.
Okay.
I'll probably go to the gym and do a little bit of curls. And stuff but
you're crazy.
But otherwise, I'm good. But we wanted to get on here and talk about, singles getting out of your house.
Now, I'm going to talk about, do you want to go first?
No, go ahead.
I'm going to talk about why I thought singles get out of your house was important. As a title, because we were sitting there going back and forth. That's not catchy. They're going to scroll by that. They already know get out of the house. But the reason I did it is because a very good friend of ours brought up a memory yesterday that that the day I met you wasn't because I was trying to meet you. That I wasn't trying to meet you. Remember what she said?
She said she had to talk you into
getting out of the house. She had to talk me into leaving. I was like, what were you doing? It was your 40th birthday? No, 39th birthday. 39th birthday. And he was having a picnic at the park, barbecue at the park, grilling and all that. And then they would go to the press box afterwards. And I was like, I don't know these people. I don't know him. I never met him before. We just occasionally talk on Facebook. I'm sure it was just a general invite to everybody. And a very good friend of ours, my friend, I guess, especially for 20 years, she was like, you need to get out the house. And it was a conversation. It was literally a conversation of, no, I don't want to go. Yes, you should go. No, I don't want to go. Yes, you should go. I don't have anything to wear. Wear the best thing you got in your closet. My hair ain't done. Who cares? Make it look cute. Put on a little lip gloss and get going. And it was like a back and forth thing for me to get out. Now, had I not listened to her, literally, you got to think about it. That one conversation and me saying, yes, I'm going to get out of my house, changed the direction of my entire life. So that's I'm coming to you with singles get out of your house. Sometimes we're thinking in our mind, it's not worth it to go there. What I could just stay at home and watch Netflix. And I'm tired of all y'all sitting home watching Netflix and Scandal and Power and Empire. And y'all know all the characters and all the episodes. And I'm like, you're in your house too doggone much if you're watching all of this stuff. You're going to work and then you come home. And then that's the end of it. And I'm like, no, I need y'all to get out of the house. You don't know who you might meet. You don't know what you might get involved in. And I know for a fact, can't be disputed, that had I not listened to my friend, I would not have met him. I wouldn't be in the position I am now as his wife. I just wouldn't be. I might still be sitting in the house, twiddling my thumbs, talking about, wonder what I'm going to do tonight. So, literally, thank you, Jennifer Cook, because it was her conversation and meeting every single obstacle that I put up, saying, I don't have this to wear. And people, I didn't go out and spend a lot of money. I went out and bought a little dress. I can show you the dress that I bought from.
You bought a dress before you came to see Mr.
I did buy a little cute
You went
thing.
to the store before you went to my
Family
cookout?
Dollar, people.
Before you went to my cookout?
I did. and bought something because I really didn't feel comfortable with what was in my closet. But I'm going to be honest, I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money on somebody I didn't know. That's the truth. So I went and bought.
But the fact is that you went to the store.
I went to the store
to buy something to wear before you met the excitement. See, people ain't catching on to what you're saying. I guarantee you got Tanya, Chester, New Beginners Community Church. You got Shantae on here. You got Walker Reed. They was talking about him on the Breakfast Brothers. You remember Wilson?
Mm-hmm.
And Janine was talking about how he was a big, a big fan of hers or whatever. Nicole Whitley. But what she said, y'all, was that she went to the store. She went to Family Dollar.
Went to Family Dollar, people.
To go get a dress.
A little
to
something,
come
something.
see me.
Yeah, because I said, well, I want to look cute. And I didn't think I had anything cute at the time in my closet. And I wanted to say, you just want to, but you know how you feel when you put on something new and you never wore it before. And I went and got that and said, okay, I'll go to this picnic to meet all these people I do not know. And so, yeah, somebody had to talk me into that, though, because I was basically going to sit in my house on that Saturday. And it was a beautiful day, remember? It was a gorgeous day, perfect day for a picnic, for a barbecue, grilling out in the park. I was going to sit in that house and be like, It wasn't like he invited me on an exclusive date. This was, hey, my family going to be out there, all my friends. It's my 39th birthday. I do it big every year. Yeah, every year. And I was like, okay, so it's not even that it was something directed to, me. I was just like, okay, free food. I'm serious. I was like, free food. I'll maybe stay an hour, eat something, and jet. That's really what I thought. That's really what I thought. Day. I stayed all day, one of the last people to leave. And you got to remember, at that point, I wasn't driving that much at night because I really didn't even know the area that I was going to. I needed to GPS it. So I was like, okay, as soon as the sun started going down, peace out, I'm out. And I didn't. I stayed, talked to your dad, talked to your cousins, Denise and Sharon, until I thought we were like sisters. We talked so much. And, got to know this man. And I was like, okay, what a difference a day makes.
You made my plate.
Yes, I did. Because he said, who's going to make the plate for the birthday boy? Now, ladies. Yeah, I was attracted to him. But ladies, nobody moved. These people were in their phones like, nobody moved. I'm all looking around like, hold up, it's the birthday boy's day.
Hell, I have a girlfriend.
I don't care. In my house, birthdays are really big. Birthdays, you don't do nothing. You don't wash dishes. You don't cook. You barely have to clean yourself. People in my family, we do for you because it's not all about money. It's about showing you love on the day that you're still here. You're still here a year later with us. So to me, birthday people don't do anything. Your money no good. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. And I was sitting there watching all these people not make him a plate. And I was like, and I don't know him, but I was like, shoot, I can make a plate and all that. So I said, well, what do you want? And he's like, a little bit of everything. And I was like, okay, I don't know what that means, but I started making a plate and I put some things on there. He was like, no, I mean everything. You can put everything on there. And I was like, okay. I went back and made him a plate. And them people sat there and watched me. They sat there and watched me. I got him his plate, utensils, a napkin. What do you want to drink?
Well, I'm going to say something. Shouts out to my cousin Trail and Tyler, because out of all my cousins, in Charlotte, in the Charlotte area, they hold me down. So shouts out to them.
They were grilling
Patrice
and
and Tyler Biggins.
Bringing all the water and sodas and everything.
Yeah,
they were doing everything.
They support me, but the rest of them, you already know.
We already know. We're talking to the singles. We're trying to encourage you to get out of the house. We're trying to encourage you to, it doesn't have to be something big. We're even talking now that we're involved with a lot of outreach ministries and community groups. we have so many volunteer opportunities. So many. You know, you can come and pack back to school backpacks. You can be a part of tutoring or mentoring. You can work in the office for some of these groups who need that admin, but they don't, you know, they don't have the funds to. An hour and a half hour. We were supposed to go, and we still haven't gone, over to the church to help sort clothes. I thought the kids were going to be here. I thought that was going to be a good opportunity. Church. The church for all those people who got burnt out of their houses, remember? And it's right up here off of Idlewild. They have a church where they're doing all the donations are coming to. And so basically they're asking people, come give a half hour. You know, it's a half hour of your day. You know, come give an hour to help these fold things, pack things, get this stuff ready for all these families that were displaced because of that big fire. So, you know, something like that, you don't know who you might meet. And it's not, I'm not just talking dating potential, marriage potential that happened to me, but just the fact that, you know, some of you have businesses, you need to be out there. People need to see you in the community making a difference. And sitting in your house, that's not the way.
Yeah, but you got to look at it like this, though, Judy. You thinking that they're not getting out the house, but they're not interested in volunteering. They're not interested in that. What they're interested in is going out to the nearest day party or going out to the nearest club, you know, a bar, you know, thinking that they'll meet a man, or a man might think that they'll meet a good woman at these things. Like they're looking for a temporary fix and not a lifetime.
Can I tell you something?
And the lifetime of these of them is a temporary fix. So they're thinking that they're trying to vision a lifetime with a temporary fix.
True.
You know, so you got to look at it like they're not interested in going to a church saying, well, God's going to bless me with whatever I need at that time. There's a lot of people that's going to church and stuff like that, but they don't want to. It's just like work. When you offer the clock, you don't want to go back for anything. You just want to work during your time, and then you want to go home, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the same way they think about church. That's the same way they think within anything. When they offer the clock, when they offer church duties or whatever.
Oh, church time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, church time. They don't want nothing else to do with church. They don't want nothing else to do with God, period. God, I gave
you know what?
My time.
First of all, you know that attitude and mindset will keep you crippled. It will keep you jacked up when it comes to blessings because, you know, God's watching you 24/7. You're supposed to be a Christian and a believer 24/7. But my line is, and I take it from Dr. Phil, how is that working for you? How is going to the club and standing there with your girls, or you standing there with your brothers in the corner, how is that working for you? You take a little liquid courage and you stand there and you stare, and you might get a dance or two, but you don't know anything more about that person. You don't know anything about, you know, their life or whatever. You're trying to talk over the loud music. You're yelling in each other's ears. How is that working for you?
They're at the bar drinking, right, whispering in each other's ears.
Yeah, we get the good times, and people are right. We get a good time, but
Nick, you're right.
There's very little that you know. So what I'm saying is, when you're in a place where you got to roll up your sleeve, it's not about how you look. It's all about, maybe we're here for a common goal. Maybe we're here to help. Then you're going to see what kind of person you're really dealing with. Do they get impatient? Or they're like, oh, I don't think I can do this. It's so overwhelming. You need to see this about a person. And also, it takes the emphasis off of yourself. You're here focused on other people, other things. And even at our events, we purposely do not hold events where you feel you've got to dress up, you know, upscale, luxury. We purposely don't do that. We don't even come in dressed. I think the only time we came in dressed was right after the Power Couple Award. We came in dressed.
Yeah, that's because we didn't have time.
We didn't have time to go home and change. But literally, we are all about come, relax, and get to know the person, you know. So we're telling you, get out of the house. If you're not part, and I know there's a lot of other networking groups, but we have a SSS Community Kingdom, and we allow people to post events in there. We allow people to put their outreach, volunteer needs, whatever. Go to some of these events. You know, it doesn't even just have to be about ours. Go to some of these events. We try to keep our events low cost. You know, occasionally we might go to we haven't yet gone to a $50, $60 dinner. I mean, we just can't do it. But
we can't afford it.
We can't.
And we don't try to. And we don't
try to do that. And for the most part, the events we have in there, we
don't try to sugarcoat, and that's why we don't charge as much, because we know that people are going through hard times and, you know, got bills and stuff like that. And what do we bring to the table? What is anybody bringing to the table in order to charge $60 or $70 for an event? You know what I'm saying? Like, they might bring Diddy or whatever, but they're tripling what the cost is of them bringing Diddy. Diddy's not charging them as much as they're charging you. You know what I mean? So they're making double of their money back on them bringing Jay-Z and Diddy. Don't think that just because they're charging $200 that Jay-Z is really charging these promoters $203. That, you know, it's worth Jay-Z charging these promoters whatever he's charging them, $100,000 or $200,000. Don't think that they couldn't make that money back without double charging you. So, you know, that's a part of the game. But we do it for God. A lot of people question, you know, is it about me, or am I doing it for God? Well, if you were at the events, you'd see what it was about. Because we're charging things for free. You know how much I put in to bring wisdom? I mean, they looked out, they showed me love, but you know that's money. And they showed me love from how they charge other people. Like, they charge me.
Don't go into numbers.
No, I'm not going to go into the numbers, but I'm just saying, Grandmaster D, all of them are showing love. Fly Tie, all of them show love. But don't think that I don't invest in these guys in order to provide for y'all. And I put this out of my pocket. My hard-working money, it comes out of my pocket. But that goes out to those people who say, am I for God? Am I doing it for God? Or who am I doing it for? You know, that's money coming out of my pocket. Nobody else's pocket but mine. So when you question other people, when you come to other people about me, know to come to me. You ain't got to go to nobody else. You heard it through the grapevine or whatever. You can come to me whether you know me or not. I'm a people's person regardless. Mm-hmm. But we're going to, but, you know, what she's saying is, what she's saying is that, you know, there are a lot of volunteers out here that's doing work. There's a lot of people out here that's doing things for the community, for the churches, for the people.
The community, for the people.
For the people, mm-hmm. For the city of Charlotte, for surroundings. Nikki, you're up in the DMV area. There are people in your city and the DMV that's doing things, get out the house and make something happen. Now, you might not meet that man or that woman right then, but God will bless you with meeting people in order to meet more people when it comes to the table.
Listen, I went to an event yesterday, and it's a group of people forming here, and it's called CUC 100. You can look them up on Facebook, CUC 100. The letter C, letter U, letter C. But basically, it's a collaborative of different organizations, businesses, business people. They have the political people. They have the CMPD. They have a bunch of different, I could say everything from entities to people moving and doing things here in Charlotte. They're trying to put something together. So, here's little old me, it's just Chuck and I doing what we do, but I come in and I represent. And in that meeting were two people who were already on city council, another person who's running for city council. We had a CMPD representative in there. We had a bunch of different agencies in there, as well as outreach groups that are doing things in the community. And what I'm telling you is, when you sit in your house, you are disconnected from what's going on in your town. And yet what goes on in your town affects you. So, I know he's not big on politics. He's like, Judy, politics ain't my thing. I don't mind politics. I don't mind, especially on a local level, because you have more of a chance to make a difference in it. But what I love is helping people. I love helping communities, neighborhoods. I love seeing, we had somebody down there from a radio station out of D.C. And so they came to Charlotte.
I think that was internet radio.
It's not internet radio.
Oh, okay.
And they came down to be in the room because they heard about this thing. And they're trying to, Charlotte is becoming a place where we're getting on the map, and people hear Charlotte now, and they want to come and see what they can do here. But the point of the matter is I was in that room meeting a bunch of people. That's then leading to other network. So a lot of you who have small businesses and different things like that, just understand you don't ever know where you're going to meet the person that God is going to connect you to for your love life, for your business life, for just maybe your church life. You don't know. And so the biggest thing that I'm telling you, and I guess the title came from my own experience. I literally had to get accustomed to telling myself to get out of the house. I worked at home. I was raising 2 kids with autism, so a lot of times they did not like to go out. And so I spent years just being in the house, working at home, resting. And I was like, Judy, your life is on this treadmill, which will not change unless you change it, unless you get intentional and change it. And I had to tell myself to learn how to break down some barriers and learn how to take some chances. I don't have to know exactly the outcome in order to say, God, I'm going to show up. And that's exactly what I used to do. I used to be like, God, I'm going. I don't know what, you might have something for me. I have no clue, but I'm going. And however you need for me to be impacted where I go, you'll show me. And invariably, every time I make that prayer and I say, I'm going out, something happens where there's a person I end up talking to extensively who say, Judy, we need to continue this conversation. The barbecue that I met him, and we literally, have we been separated since?
No, I couldn't get rid of it.
I mean, we haven't been separated since that day. I'm sure he's like, shoot, all I did was invite the girl now, and she's like glue. I can't get rid of her. But, we haven't been separated since that day. And it led to a dating. It led to me working with Single Saved and Serious, which I was excited to do. And it also led to our marriage. All because somebody said, Judy, get out the house. And I was like, oh, well, let me just go buy a $10 shift so I have something on that's different. And I'm going to show up, I'm going to spend an hour, and then I'm going home. And you have no idea that changed my whole life. No idea. So I'm I don't want to beat the point, but I'm like, look for opportunities to get out. Look for ways to put yourself out there. Break outside of the box. Break outside of your normal routine. You know what I'm talking about. You go to work. You take the same route home every day. You end up in the house. You're looking forward to either what's on the DVR or what you're going to watch tonight. And then you repeat that 5 days a week. Then you try to turn it up Friday night and maybe a little bit Saturday. You go to church for 2.5 hours on Sunday, and you start all over again.
Or some of them listen now. Listen close. Facebook Live, if you own, listen close. I'm not on Instagram Live. We're not on Periscope. We're on Facebook Live. Listen closely, right? A lot of them, right? A lot of them. They go to church. They serve at the church. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I was saying earlier. They serve at the church. But serving at the church is like going to work. So basically what I was saying was the time that they put into the church is like the time they put into feeling like they're working. But and they try to pronounce that they're working for God, but they're working for the church. So when they're out of church, their time is their time, and that time might be at a bar, might be at a wine little lineup, might be at the movies or whatever. So doing something voluntary or doing something outside of their comfort zone ain't comfortable for them. That's who we're talking to. That's who we need to talk to.
But you know what? Your breakthrough, your next move, and I'm not trying to sound like, the latest motivational life coach, but literally is right on the other side of your comfort zone. Okay? It's right on the other side. The minute you make up in your mind that I'm going to push the boundaries of my surroundings, you instantly open up new possibilities and new opportunities. You instantly do that thing. And I know you're talking to somebody who, for the most part, is very much of a homebody. I like to get out, and then Judy's like, by time. But I know that sometimes I have to do something different. And if I want different, what do we call it? What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over, but expecting something different.
Different results.
You got to do something different. And so I'm not saying you got to jump at every opportunity. I'm not saying you got to come to every event. But I'm saying is, even if you have to choose one thing and say, I'm going to come out my comfort zone today. I'm going to go somewhere that I've never been before. I'm going to go and meet some people. And I'm going to put a smile on my face when I walk into the room. Because smiles connect people. When you walk in looking like you really didn't want to be there, people really don't want to be there with you. Okay, so put that smile on your face. Make some eye contact. Talk about everything and anything.
And if you need something to do, like a lot of times, people are calling me. They don't call me no more, I guess, because I'm married.
What thing? You ain't got no social life.
But it's cool. But anyway, they'll call me and they'll be like, "Oh, Chuck, what's happening? You would know what's going on in the streets. You always in the streets. You can call Judy. Judy's always on the internet. She knows about 20 to 30 events that people invite her to." And I'm like, "Judy, those are just general invites. I do it all the time." No. She's the most special person in the world. And excited because somebody invited her out of 500
I get excited
people,
when I see invites.
And she get excited. All these people just inviting me. I don't know
love
who
me
these
to
people are.
pieces.
I don't even know who these people are. Who are you? I'm like, "Judy, it's a general invite.
I know,
I
they
do
just
it all
go
the time."
do.
So, if you need something to do or if you have nothing to do within your area or you want to come to Charlotte and find out what's going on in Charlotte, this is the woman to talk to. This is the woman who will, and that's SSS Movement. That's the community page, the Kingdom page that she created
It's a group,
in order to, for everybody to post what's going on in the community. Clean things that go on in the community. It ain't just always got to be Christian, but just clean, right?
Yeah, just clean.
So, she posts those things she posts things and she invites people to post so that way you could just look on to see what the next event is and what everybody is doing in Charlotte and surroundings. So even if you're not from Charlotte and you're coming that weekend and you like, "Oh, I want to know what's going on. I can't get in touch with Chuck or Brandon or whatever. Mr. Excitement the month of August. I'll be Mr. Excitement the whole month of August. If you call me outside,
Get ready.
of Mr. Excitement, and I'm going to post it too. I'm going to feel so disrespected.
Everybody else get ready. No.
But anyway, but what I was saying was, Judy has all of that information in order to, guide you on what to do. And, a lot of y'all, we always pout about it or however you want to take it, about us telling y'all to get out of the house and socialize with us. But, she's at these community events. She's around the politicians. I'm not into politicians. What's the other thing I ain't into? It's something else. Politicians are corporate America. She's around
I have no problem.
things like that.
I have
You
absolutely
know,
no problem.
now I will post a pic or whatever, and I will talk to the politicians, but it, I'm not into
But you know what?
this.
I got to say something to people. Don't think that I was always this outgoing, okay? I mean, one of these days I'm going to put on these little Coke bottle glasses that I grew up with. I grew up extremely shy. I grew up not talking. I barely wanted to even be on the phone by the time I was, I think, up to 15 years old. I didn't like to answer the phone. This is days before caller ID. You never knew who in the world was on there. So, I really wasn't into being very social. Now, I had a very social mother, and so she dragged us everywhere she went, and I usually would try to find a corner with a book somewhere and be just like this little thing, and very quiet. Literally, people knew my sister, who was 10 years younger than me. They would know her before they knew me. They were like, she got a sister? An older sister? Where the heck has she been? I was extremely shy, extremely quiet. But somewhere around between 15 and 18, I realized that if I wanted to reach some of my dreams, I had to get out of that. I had to get out of that. I had to force myself to do things that were uncomfortable in order for me to be in the position to be granted my dreams. So one of the first jobs I got, you want to know the first job I got? 2 jobs. First one was being a foot messenger. Literally had to take me into areas and locations I had never been before. Within a year's time, I knew New York City better than anybody. I could tell you everything about where you were going. People would call me up and say, I want to eat. And I'd be like, oh, you're going to be on the east side uptown. Where are you going to be? The second job I got was being what? A receptionist. What the heck did I have to do all day but answer the phone? And I had to force myself, literally, the first couple of weeks, heart in your throat, you're choking. My boss is like, are you going to be okay? I'm going to be fine. As I shake and I pick up the phone. I still shake when I get in front of people to speak. But coming out of that, even before that, I think let me go back. When I was 13, I challenged myself to get a drama coach who sat there for 6 months and taught me how to speak. He's like, Judy, you can speak, but I wouldn't breathe. There were so many things I didn't do, but I realized that I couldn't stay that way and be all of what I had in my head. I just couldn't. So what I'm telling singles is, you're going to have to break out of your routine. You're going to have to challenge yourself. And it's okay if your palms sweat. It's okay if your heart is just a beating. Mine still does. Every time they go, what? Every time they go around the table and we'll just do 30 seconds. My mind is just like, what 30 seconds? What am I going to say? Who am I? I still go through that. Don't think that, being on here. In fact, tell them that you wanted me to do more Facebook Lives. And what did I tell you?
No.
I said, no, I don't want that camera in my face. I'm not good at it. I'm only good when you're with me. And literally, the Lover and Giver as a show was an idea a long time ago, but we never did it because the first time he put the camera in my face, what happened? Did it in the parking lot on our first or second date. I froze. Remember?
Yeah, when I put you on blast.
We were in the parking lot and I completely froze. I was like, I didn't even remember my name. So what I'm saying is, I understand that you're like, well, Judy, no, I'm comfortable, but you got dreams. You want to meet somebody and they're not coming to your front door, knocking, talking about, is the eligible man or woman up in here? They're not doing that. So we've got to get out of our comfort zone. We've got to.
Because you're more capable of meeting somebody at a community event than you are at a restaurant and bar. And it's more intimate. The talk is more
the conversation.
Detailed.
Thank you.
It ain't just, you're not drunk talking,
you're not yelling over music.
It's more personal. And maybe later on that night, maybe it could lead on to that, but you already know who you're dealing with at that time because you're more personable at a quiet space. You're more personable, helping somebody else, do different things. It takes the focus off of you. So that way, those people will know your character. Even if you have, let's say you have the wrong motive, right? Then they'll still know your character because something deep inside of you, something made you get to that point to where you wanted to go take yourself out of the equation and help somebody else. You know, so we got to look at these things. I mean, if somebody invited me when I was single, if somebody invited me to church more than let's just go to a restaurant and spend money, or if somebody invited me to one of their friends' grand opening or something like that, something of that nature, I was more intrigued into that versus let's go to a club and get drunk and get crunk and get turned up all night. You know, and I'm not saying, you know, don't go to a club, but what I'm saying is if you meet that person that day, or you meet those people that day, that evening, as you're taking yourself out of the equation, after you finish what you do, then you can go turn up, turn down, or whatever.
Whatever.
You know, you got to get to know the people that you're around. I've met several women at the club, got numbers, you know, talked hot, you know, I could even say had, you know, sexual sex with them and never heard from them again after that day. And that was a waste of time, right? I know you're looking at me wrong, but I'm just saying you got to be open.
I'm not looking at you wrong. You're telling the people the truth.
You got to be open. You know, as a man, when you know, I've met women, had, you know, met them that night, talked to them that day, had sex with them, and never talked to them again. And half of the women that I've slept with, I can't even remember. You remember when Chucky had that sermon about, and he put one of our people's sister on blast talking about she done slept with the whole room. You remember that?
Yes, I do.
But they knew each other to where he could say that because she understood what he was talking about. And I was sitting there counting like the women I've slept with, right? I was sitting there counting. Now listen, for those who sit there and question my character and question my relationship with God and all of that, I'm being transparent in front of my wife, right? Right? Listen, who's on Facebook Live, please please do your emojis or whatever, just to say I'm tuning in. No, because I really want them to hear this. As a man, I really want the women to hear this. So if you're listening, I need a like on emoji.
Well, you're being honest.
Because I'm not going to be as transparent.
Okay, I'm gonna meet you there.
Go ahead.
Where's all the people I slept with? I mean, we all have a past, people.
Yeah.
Where are these people? And I would meet them, at a party, at you know, this, that, and the other thing. Where are they? You know what I'm saying? So it's like we all have a past. We all have people that have come in and out of our lives, and have just kept it moving. And you know, after a while, you just get sick and tired of that. You just really do. You be like, this is some nonsense. You know? Like you said, can you remember their names?
I can't even remember their names. You know, a lot of them growing up or whatever is very few, like especially the one night stands. I remember I went to the store one time, right? I went to the store and I was dropping Rabbit off at baseball, and I just went to the store to get some potato chips and a drink. I don't think it was Mountain Dew back then, but I was just fooling around because I didn't want to stay at the baseball practice about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, or whatever. So I was just fooling around, and me and Bunny went to the store. I don't think Buck was probably born, but he probably was with Katera. And I was in Matthews Mill, and I stopped at the store, and a Caucasian woman was right behind me, and I said, "I know you from somewhere." I was like, "I know you." And she was like, "Yeah, you do." Remember, and she started reminiscing, right? And telling me where I knew her from, the people that I knew her from. And she said, "Don't you ever forget a woman that you slept with." And I'll say, huh? You know,
That's a sad state of
and
affairs.
she was like, yeah, we slept together, and this is how we slept together. This was the day that we slept together.
Oh,
This is what happened when we slept together. Oh, and all of that. And I was like, wow, that was crazy that, you sleep with somebody, and you don't even remember.
remember.
And people, and matter of fact, and she talks to you, one of our Facebook friends, always reminds me of the best friend that she had that I slept with. And I'm thinking that it's somebody else that I slept with, and it was her best friend. And I couldn't even remember. So that's what I'm saying. Like, during those times, now I wasn't no bad guy. And I know a lot of y'all are scared to, put the likes and the emojis up because you want to put me on blast and expect me to fail, but you can't because God knows my character, right? But it wasn't that I was a bad guy. It was just the situation of just going, oh, Vanessa's on here, just going through something. You know what I'm saying?
Just being out there in the world.
Being
Because
out
that's
there.
what the world does. That's what the world does. The world tells you, turn up. The world tells you, hey, enjoy yourself while you're out here. If something happens, well, just have a good time. That's what the world tells you. And, I don't know of a single person in my life, whether they believe in Christ or not, who has not gone through that stage of, I'm out here in the world, let me see what I can get. And you end up hearing the stories of, man, that just wasn't even worth it. That just wasn't even worth it. And so, yeah, it's okay to go to these places, a club and a bar. But if you're still on that treadmill of doing that, and in your heart you're not happy, I'm saying break out of the routine. I'm saying do something different. Go somewhere different with a different purpose in mind. And for those ladies and men who are literally really looking for their partner, that avenue is not how you're going to find it. You got to get out of your comfort zone. You have to go and do things differently. And a whole lot of it should not be based on, well, I got the cutest, tightest dress on, or I got, my cologne is hot. And it's got to be something different. And I'm saying these events that are around town, that it shows a different side of you and it forces people to look at you differently. It's not about, I'm in this club competing with every other woman in a short dress. It's about, hey Vanessa, how you doing?
Yeah, but everyone makes mistakes, and there's nothing.
Yeah, no,
there's
we're
nothing. We're not saying that. That's why I put myself as a testimony and as an example, as a man, right? Because sometimes you feel embarrassed that you're not embarrassed. I wouldn't say embarrassed, but you like look where I was that many years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago to where I am now.
And Vanessa, you might be coming in late, but our whole purpose and thought about it, singles get out of the house, get involved in some things going on, and you never know who you might run into, who you might meet, what may come out of that. And she wrote something else. So we're not sitting here telling.
I'm fine. I was saying in your situation. No, I'm fine.
Yeah, she was just saying we all make mistakes and we all go through that life cycle. But we're just saying it's for singles that let's try to get us out of the house, out of that routine.
You ain't single no more. Them. No, don't do that. I know I done, told all my loads of business.
But we still
don't do that.
Talk to
don't
our
do that.
Singles. We still have singles saved.
We
gonna get out of the house.
They're single saved and serious. No, you have them.
You see this nonsense. So yes, please come out of the house. But we'll be there. We'll be out and about.
Yeah, my man Kerry Digsby is from Urban Times Magazine, QC's power couple. He's got something going on at Marshall Park.
Is that today?
Yeah, and he wants people to bring out water. I believe it's Marshall Park. I'll post it a little bit later, and I'm gonna tag everyone that's on here that's single. But you know, he's got something going on, and he wants people to bring a box of pizza or water, whatever you can bring
Bring a box of pizza
for the youth. He's doing something real big, or there's something going on that he's in for the youth. And I'm gonna go out there. Judy has something to do.
Yeah, but you know what? Okay, yes, I have to take my son. We're trying to get him into this training work program, and so I have to take him down like 40, nearly an hour away from here for him to be part of that program. It's an open house today. But when I come back, can I tell you some of the off-the-wall things that I do just to get me out of my comfort zone in my box? There is a tomato festival happening today. A tomato festival. Now, I grew up with my dad growing tomatoes in the backyard. So I just want to go and see what kind of tomatoes they're talking about. Let me see. It's a thing. It's just a thing. But so I'm going to go to a tomato festival. Am I going to feel strange and weird? No, because I like tomatoes. My dad taught me how to grow tomatoes. I've grown them even in that hanging upside down thing. I've grown some fabulous tomatoes. So I'm going to go to that. Then we've got the Q City Metro Day Party later on.
Turn up!
That might be a bit more.
Grown and sexy. Grown and sexy.
Grown and sexy. So that might be another thing.
So I gotta wear slacks and a
yes, you do. This is a little bit more of a business.
I'm doing it for you. I'm telling you right now, I'm doing it for you.
Thank you very much. But, you know, so this is the kind of stuff that we do. Community, off-the-wall festivals, and then networking and things like that. But again, you don't know who you're going to meet. You don't know what's going to happen. And you've got to think outside of the box in order, if you really want to change in your life, you got to think outside the box. So that's all I got to say, because I got to get ready to go.
Yeah.
I don't know what time it is.
And I'm putting on my clothes, and I might do the janitor's closet.
You might do something.
But y'all are not going to see me naked outside of my wife, so don't have any type of,
cover him,
you know,
I'm trying to get him back
ideas or anything like that. No, but see, this is the thing.
Uh-oh.
This is the thing.
I went there. I was trying to get us to say we love you.
When you come, when I come out real direct. I come out clean. I come out naked. And the whole idea of bedroom talk is coming to you naked, revealing all of me, because God sees all through me. And I want y'all to see the same person that God sees, but loves me for who he sees. See, a lot of people want to question my Christianity, want to question my faith, want to question me. And I know people get questioned all the time. You know, pastors get questioned all the time. And it's good. And God is telling me right now, thank God that I'm being questioned and that people are paying me some attention of what direction is this guy going into. I go into the direction that God gives me sight to go into. Christian Lounge Experience is a dream. And I hate to get into that, but Christian Lounge Experience is a dream. No, because singles need to come to the Christian Lounge Experience in order to meet their husband and their wife. You're not going to meet any potential. Can we tell them the story of why one of the owners of a certain popular club inside of Dorado neighborhood won't let us in? What he said.
And another one. Because what time is it so that I can get on out of here?
There's another club owner that says something?
No, I'm saying we can do that another time because I can...
Just give them a slate, a bit.
But go ahead.
I know, but
I'm
just saying,
swipe and tell me what time
just
it is.
2 minutes. Just 2 minutes of your
time. A certain time.
Okay.
Swipe down.
Well, we gotta go. But
yeah, we do.
Hold on. Because I wanted to be interested. What I'm saying is, it ain't up but 12. What time you gotta be there? It's 9:38.
Okay. Yeah, time for me to go because I gotta get.
All right, ready. I wanted to really tell y'all, but go ahead and get ready. I'm gonna go ahead and finish.
You gonna do what?
I'm gonna go ahead and finish telling them that we love you, but God loves you.